All right, good afternoon, folks. It's 4 o'clock. I'll call the Plan Commission to order. I'll call the roll. Braden? Here. Kim? Here. Marilyn? Here. Kevin? Here. John? Here. All right, if folks could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor state aye. Aye. Any objections? Chair votes aye. Minutes are approved. All right. We have 2 public hearings this afternoon. First one, we'll do public hearing regarding application for conditional use with exceptions by Sarah Wolski to construct a new apartment on 1211 Superior Avenue. Anyone wishing to be heard on this one? Do you want to speak on this item?
Sure. I submitted.
Okay. This point right now is just if the public has any comment on this.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. And if you just want to come up and introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm Sarah Walski. I own Tangerine Salon in Sheboygan. And that building also has a commercial rental unit that was occupied by a dentist, David Coulter. But he retired, so it's been open since March of 2024. And I've been trying to rent it for a commercial property with little interest or just interest that I wouldn't want in that neighborhood particularly. So I thought maybe I would convert it to a 1-bedroom apartment unit. And actually my nephew is interested in renting it. He works for me at the salon too. But it's a 1,000 square foot space. Minimal interior work would have to be done. I mean, a kitchen would have to be made and things like that. There's a basement with storage in the basement that's separate, parking, everything's up to code that way. So, and I just thought with the need for further housing in the Sheboygan area, it couldn't hurt that situation. So, and I think it would make the property more valuable.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to be heard on this item? Brian?
Hi, my name is Brian Kelly. I live on 2006 South 9th. For this item and the next one, where they're both adding apartment units in town, I think that's a great idea. We're in a housing shortage, as our housing study showed, and this is a great way to add more housing to the city with minimal city resources. So, seems like a great idea.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard on this? Anyone else wishing to be heard? Final call. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Move to close the hearing.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor of closing the hearing, state aye.
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 Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is closed. Next hearing regarding public application for conditional use with exceptions by Jeff Rittenhouse to construct new second-floor apartments on 1226 North 8th Street. Anyone wishing to be heard on this one? Brian?
Sorry, one more comment. I saw in this application that there is a comment about 2 parking spaces were available per unit or something like that. I would say that even that seems like it could be high. I know other apartments in the area. I lived at High Point for a while. A lot of people living in apartments might only need 1 car or could get around by walking or bike. So if parking is like the major concern preventing this from going forward, like I would question why and if 2 parking spots are actually needed per unit.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to be heard on this? Final call. Anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, is there a motion to close?
Motion to close the hearing.
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is closed. All right, moving along. Application for conditional use with exceptions by Sarah Wolski to construct a new apartment at 1211 Superior Avenue. Elise?
The applicant would like to remodel 1211 Superior Avenue to a residential dwelling space. The space was previously used as a dentist office and is now vacant without interest in renting it for commercial purpose. The proposed number of dwelling units is 1.
I couldn't hear her.
Just want to repeat it, yeah.
The applicant would like to remodel 1211 Superior Avenue to a residential dwelling space. The space was used as a dentist office and is now a vacant space without interest in renting it for commercial purposes. The proposed number of dwelling units is 1.
Thank you. Questions from commission members? Motions from commission members. John?
I would just like to speak on this. Sarah, thank you for bringing this forward in doing this. I'm very familiar with the property because I was a patient of Dr. Coulter for years and years. I was a patient before he moved to that space. So I am familiar with the space. It is a very nice space. It's more of a modern, up-to-date. It's a fairly, looks like it's been redone recently. So it is an attractive space. I do wish you would talk Dr. Coulter out of retirement and have him come back because I do miss him, but so. So, but I fully support this and wish you nothing but good luck. So thank you.
Would you like to make a motion, John?
I would move to approve.
Thank you. Moved in, seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, city administrator.
Just wanted to bring up one thing for both of these projects. There is funding provided through, I believe, WIDA for $20,000 for the conversion of commercial spaces into residential in downtown areas. So just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. So there is funding to help incentivize this on top of anything you might have. But that program's there. I wasn't aware of this project, so I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that.
If you have questions then about that, snag him after the meeting. Yeah. All right, all those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. Next, item 8, application for conditional use with exceptions by Jeff Rittenhouse to construct new second-floor apartments at 1226 North 8th Street. Elise?
Applicant would like to add 1 to 6 1 to 2 bedroom apartments on the top of an existing building. This would include the vacant existing portion of the building and built out over the top of the existing building's lower level. The lower level contains retail and beauty shops, and the upper level is currently vacant.
Thank you. Questions from, John?
I again support this. Thank you for bringing this forward. I'm not concerned about the parking issue, so that's not an issue for me. I am interested if you could maybe speak a little bit more on what your plans are for the exterior of the building. You mentioned. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so all redone with the upstairs, mostly glass. I just feel a little, look, freshen up that downtown, I can't stand that stucco look.
Yeah, it's not attractive look right now, but it's a cool building.
Yeah, but I want to get that stucco off, but I don't want to repair it right now with what I want to do upstairs, so I really want to do a whole makeover of the outside of the building as well.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at with that.
Okay.
So kind of, what happens here if I can't add anything, then I guess I got to just repair it.
Well, I'm in favor for what you're doing. It is a cool building and it is a great location, so I support that. Right. Well, thank you for bringing it forward.
Cool. Other questions from commission members? Braden?
Yeah, I'll just add on, as we go through this process, I mean, I'm assuming this is being approved. I assume we're all going to vote yes on this, just as we did on the last one. Whether it be for the process of getting approval, whether it be the process of potentially applying for WIDA credits, like whatever we can learn from this to make this happen as many times as possible is ideal, right? You have an empty space, you have the idea of adding on to a building, you're adding density and housing to the downtown. Like, this is all things that we want to see happen. Anything that we can do to replicate this, make this as easy as possible to give property owners the green light to do this in their own spaces is ideal. So that's my only note is, yes, please, thank you, and more.
You're here. All right, final thoughts. Seeing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Wait, we have to have a motion first.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, who's making the motion?
So make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. All right, now all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Chair votes aye. That's approved. All right, moving along. RO number 662425 by the City Administrator Casey Bradley, submitting capital improvements program requests for the years 2025 through 2029. City Administrator.
All right, I know we had talked a little bit about this last year. Our ordinance requires this to come here, so we're gonna look at getting the ordinances fixed. We just haven't had time to get to that. So you guys get to weigh in on the capital plan before it goes to council for final consideration. So if there are any questions, please let me know.
Questions, Braden?
Question, so just about the TID projects, in the previous version of this, it had more specificity on like what was being spent where. Here it just kind of says like TID 18 and a bump zone. When this goes to council, will there be more specificity on those projects?
It's online. This is a summary report
Okay.
for you guys. So the full capital plan is available on the finance department's website.
Got it, okay, cool.
Yep.
John?
I just want to commend you for bringing this forward. I've been a member of the Plan Commission in the past, and I haven't seen such a future-looking capital improvement plan. So this is interesting to me to see that that there is somebody thinking about what needs to be done in the future versus, you know, when something becomes in disrepair or becomes an emergent need that we have to like fund it right away. So thank you for that. But I do have a question on the LED street lighting upgrades. I see that it ends in 2027. Does that mean that everything is complete at that point in time? We have all the LED done? Or
Yes. That would be the end of this program. And the goal was, I believe, replacing all city streetlights to LED. So we'll be at that point.
Okay. Well, that looks great. Thank you.
Yes, and as far as the plan, this year's kind of interim plan, and then we're actually doing a facilities analysis because that's one of the things that we've discovered is there's not really an inventory of where we're at on all our facilities. So that is in the works now. And our plan is to actually have a full capital plan that looks at every single asset moving forward in the 26 budget and beyond. Then we can project out every single asset life that we have. So we're working towards getting better.
Well, this is better than what I've been
Yes.
used to seeing in the, you know, so thank you for that. So, yeah, I look forward to, you
That's
know. what you-
Caitlin and her staff have done a tremendous amount of work, and our department heads have as well. So we're kind of changing the entire program altogether.
Well, it's
So we
just
appreciate
not the
that.
one notice. Thank you, Caitlin. So I appreciate it.
Do you remember the books, John?
Yes.
Kim?
Sure, thank you. Thank you for the work you're doing. When you said inventory of facilities, do you mean keeping track of all the buildings that the city owns and/or all of what's inside of each building?
Relatively loaded question. So it's going to depend. So some of the buildings, like the library is a great example. The library, the operations and everything, the things inside the library are the libraries. They're under the control of the library board.
Right.
The building itself is owned and maintained by the city. So in that case, we would look at the things the city owns, looking at, you know, every aspect of that building from the exterior facade to the roof to the HVAC systems to understand where they're at in their life cycle and then start planning out what those replacement cycles look like. So kind of as John alluded to, you know, addressing issues before they come issues, have a plan in place to fund them. And, you know, right now it's just kind of happenstance when things die or become
Sure.
end of life, then we're addressing them. We're trying to get more of an approach of looking at a full life cycle of everything from, you know, vehicles that are on the road to the facilities that we own and operate. So we're looking at, I think it was 300 plus structures that the city owns and is responsible for, and we have plans on probably less than 10% of that. So we're looking at all of that, and then obviously engineering department's working on, the road and trying to look at some of the PACER ratings and try to get a better index of our roads. So it's a pretty comprehensive process. And as we've kind of discovered, there's not a whole lot there. So kind of starting from scratch on everything.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? And I believe this needs a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. Next meeting.
Thank you.
October 29th. We've exhausted the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of adjournment state aye.
Aye.
All right, 4:15, we're done.